The Tesla Model Y is one of the top selling cars worldwide. It's also one of the fastest selling used cars. But even though it's all of the above, there are still 9 specific issues that I have to deal with on a daily basis. And so in this video, I want to show you how to fix each of these issues by sharing the 9 must-have accessories for your Tesla Model Y or Model 3. And I'll make sure that I link down below to each one of them if you want to get one for yourself. Now, the first 2 are from a company called MagBack. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know that I have a MagBack phone case on practically every phone that I own. You know, iPhone 13, iPhone 14, S23 Ultra, S22 Ultra, Pixel 7 Pro, S23, and I love them. They do a great job at protecting your phone. And I love that you can just stick them to literally like any metal surface. They just open up tons of options for when you're actually using your phone if you want to stick it to a microwave or a fridge or all those kind of things. That's a lot of slapping. Now, what's one of the worst things that can happen to any new car? Well, it's probably when you or perhaps your wife, you know, not naming any names, but maybe she takes your car out and curbs your wheels not long after you've had your car. Like surely something that would cause arguments in any marriage. So the fix to the #1 problem of curbing your expensive wheels. Now, these are an ingenious invention by MagBack, and they come in multiple sections that you actually clip and snap onto your existing wheels. And then by doing so, they give you total coverage, protecting you from, well, curbing your wheels. And even if you do curb your wheels, because they're fitted in these sections, then you can just swap out, you know, the section that's been curbed without having to replace like the entire thing. Now you also get these adhesive stickers to stick onto the edges of your wheels so you don't risk scratching your actual wheels. And it also stops from like micro dust or scratches or dirt just from getting in underneath and then scratching your wheels. Now I also like that once they are fitted, you can't really tell that anything's actually different. Like I had a really hard time telling the difference between the before and like the after photos, unless you like really know what you're looking for. Now, the next one for me is that I don't want to be paying an extra £10 or $10 per month for access to some pretty basic features like showing traffic in navigation or being able to stream Spotify, but you can't have your phone down on the charger there because you can't see it, and B, it doesn't always actually charge unless it's in like the exact right position. So to fix this one, this is the MagBack MagSafe Charger, and it sticks to the back of the center console screen. You also run the cable, it's got a very long cable on it. You run this down behind the trim, so basically it's invisible. And now you can mount your phone in exactly the right position. Now it works with regular kind of MagSafe phones, so you don't have to have a MagBack case, or of course one of the MagBack cases, including, getting your Android S23 Ultra to mount to this magnetically, and it's super, super strong. Now, it's not gonna fly off if you accelerate quickly. It's definitely gonna charge because the magnets keep it in the right place, and you're not gonna go messing around with like trying to get the phone in exactly the right position. So now with one of these, you can use Waze or Apple Maps if you prefer using that over like the Tesla navigation, and having quick access to your Spotify as well. A huge shout out to MagBack for sponsoring this video, but if this isn't a good fix for you, then I also have a way to get actual Apple CarPlay, like real world Apple CarPlay, working in a Tesla. So stick around to learn more about that one. Next up are a couple of family problems right now. Kids. Kids are great, aren't they? Particularly when they kick the back of your seats and cover them in scratches and mud and sand. So these and a few others I'm going to mention today come from Enquiries, and these are covers that fit over the back of the chairs, and once fitted you can barely tell the difference. Now there is a little crease in one of them here, which is just basically how they were folded, but that will disappear over time. And now they are easy to wipe down and clean, and if they really get ruined, you can just buy another set instead of worrying about scratches to the plastic itself and having to replace like the whole plastic section. Now on the flip side of this, where the kids actually sit, always get ruined, like especially if you're stupid like me and go for this lovely white interior. So these seat covers also stop almost all of the sticky, sweetie, sand, chips and sun cream and just all of the stuff that the kids tend to get covered in. Now they also protect the back of the seat if you have a like full-on car seat like I do here, so it just stops it from like rubbing and marking the seats. And there is also a smaller version which just protects the seat itself. Now they also have this mesh pocket underneath which you can use to store things like sunglasses or drinks, toys, games consoles, all those kind of things. And I find this is just really reassuring that I don't have to constantly clean my seats all the time. And the last family one now, this rubbish bin fits perfectly on the spot on the floor between the seats. It also attaches by Velcro, and at least it's now somewhere at least that the kids can reach and put rubbish into. Now whether they choose to or not is, totally depends on them, but at least it is there now. And even if they don't, it makes it all that that much easier when you come to like tidy up, because you can just throw it all in the bin, then take the bin out and then throw that all away. Now the next one I think is a must-have is to buy some inserts for both the underarm storage and the big bin of storage you have right here. Now they make these in all different styles and sizes, and I'll link down to the ones I've bought down below. But the one under my arm I've actually bought for my Model 3, and I brought it over to my Model Y because it just gives you a useful space to store loose change, and I got a few cards in here, charging cables, like just whatever you need. Now the large bin at the front, I couldn't really use it for anything because it's just way too big unless you want to store a huge drink or like a wine bottle or something in there. So getting an organizer that slides into here will make this space way more useful to you. I store my sunglasses here along with just any other small knickknacks that otherwise just get in the way or like roll around or just get lost in such a big compartment down the bottom. Now, something I don't have a huge amount of time for is cleaning my car, but this is the first car I've actually bought in a very long time outright, so I want to keep it in as best condition as I can. And that means not putting it through a regular car wash because it would just get covered in tons of like micro scratches from either the machines or from people just reusing the same like washing cloths over and over again. So the best option here is to get what's called a ceramic coating. Now it's this invisible coating which gets applied on top of your paintwork and it gets left to cure for a few days so the coating goes like solid. And basically what this does, it protects the paintwork underneath the ceramic coating. It also makes the car like super shiny. Like it wouldn't look like this if you took it through a public car wash. Now the guys at Immaculate Detailing also machine polished out some scratches to the paintwork which were actually there since delivery. And by having this ceramic coating, it just makes it so much easier to clean. Like water just beads off the coating, so even when it rains, it just runs off. Now I've also had them remove the Tesla and the Dual Moto logo on the back and replace with this like really sick like blacked out Tesla letters, which I think just finishes the car off so well. Now lastly, with the ceramic coating, I've also applied a coating to the glass where any water hitting it just beads right off. I find that with it applied and you're going anywhere above like 30 or 40 miles an hour, then you don't need your wipers on because the water just slides off the screen. Like even if it's absolutely hammering it down, I love to be driving down the motorway. Everyone's got their wipers on like full speed, struggling to see what's going on. And you could just be cruising down without any wipers on and everything's like crystal clear. It is so fun. Now next up, when you go to the beach or wear a pair of wellies in the winter and go walking through like muddy puddles, having somewhere to actually put your wellies or sandy shoes or whatever can be really handy. And this super simple tray that you can throw into the bottom of the boot comes in clutch. You can also get one for the frunk if that helps, but just get one, throw in your dirty shoes, and then if you ever need to, you can just pull out the liner and then like jet wash it to get it clean again, and then throw it back in again. Now, particularly if you live near a beach or for winter, these are really useful. And I'd also recommend getting some all-weather floor mats as well, just as a rubber boot liner, just to save you messing up the fabric of your boot with like mud and sand and stuff. Now, I never bothered with this in my Model 3 before, but a few weeks ago, I ended up putting a bike in the back of my car and it's already marked the fabric on the back of the seats, which I'm a bit gutted about. So yeah, had I had the liner in place then, that wouldn't have happened. Right, next up, and first off, this is gonna sound like a huge like first world problem right here. One of the things that bugs me with Tesla is that there is no Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Now I've had 2 Model S's, a Model 3, and now a Model Y, and I'm honestly getting a little bit tired of like, it's good, but kind of basic navigation and like music integration. But there is a way to get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto to work. Now with Android Auto, you can literally just download an app to your phone and then it will pretend that it's actually connected to Android Auto. And then you can just browse to it via the web on your car. Now this works okay, but I find the interface to be quite laggy at times. But for Apple users, I bought a clever little box that plugs in via USB. You then connect to it via Bluetooth on your phone, and then you connect your car to the box via Wi-Fi. And this brings the full CarPlay experience to you via a browser. And you can reply to messages, use Waze or Apple Maps for your navigation if you prefer that. You can also use apps to find parking or charging points. Like, it is so much better than what's built in. And you don't have to pay a monthly subscription fee for it to work either. Now, this one does work much better than Android Auto. I don't have to use a separate SIM card or anything. It literally just hotspots using my phone's data connection, but it is still pretty responsive. Now, I think this is something that Tesla should just get working, like both with Android Auto and with iOS. But it's at the point now where, you know, Elon Musk is just going to say something like, why do you even need it when you won't even need a steering wheel in the future? Like he's been promising for like 5 years now. Anyway, which one of these was your favorite? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to learn more about some features on your Tesla Model Y or 3, including some which are pretty hidden, click here and I'll see you there.